welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be talking about how I lost 12 pounds throughout the summer. So before I begin, I do want to put a little disclaimer, trigger warning type thing that I am talking about weight loss, losing weight, which I know can trigger some people. Also, I will be talking about caloric deficits. If that is something you don't want to hear about, then please leave. I also want to say there was nothing wrong with my body before. I just was not confident in myself. I hadn't been working out in such a long time, and I just really wanted to get myself together and not feel bad about myself anymore. And that doesn't mean that losing weight is how you feel better about yourself. I think getting healthy and getting fit is a way to feel better about yourself. As a result, you lose weight. Yeah. Also, I am not licensed or anything. This is just my personal experience. My knowledge comes from like my own research and what I figured out what works for me. Obviously, I suggest doing your own research or talking to someone who is a professional if you want more clarification. But yeah, since I started working out a lot more, I got a lot of comments that were like, wow, you lost weight, wow this, wow that. And even though, you know, people should not be commenting on other people's bodies unprovoked, I was like, I will tell people that I did it in a healthy way, because I did. I worked out this summer, I got healthy. I think I'm in like one of the best shapes I've ever been in, and I'm proud of myself, and I've developed better eating habits. So let's get started. So since everyone has been asking me about my workout routine, I'm going to start off with the gym. Throughout the years, I was always lifting really heavy, and there's nothing wrong with lifting heavy, but for me it was making me feel really bloated. I felt like kind of sick all the time. I kind of always had acid reflux because it makes you hungrier. Like I was just stuffing my face with like everything right after a workout, and I didn't like the way it made me feel. On TikTok there's like the new hot girl walks, drop lifting, do Pilates. I don't think Pilates is real. So I decided to focus on cardio and both body weight exercises and exercises that required low weight and high reps. And that is where I saw optimal results. Also, I credit my weight loss heavily to cardio, which I know isn't sustainable for most people, but for me it is, because I love cardio. I do cardio every single day, and that's how I'm keeping the weight off. So every single gym session, I like to do incline walk and Stairmaster. I start off with 30 minutes of incline walking, and I end my sessions with 15 minutes of Stairmaster. Basically, when you do this, you burn enough calories to kind of stay in a caloric deficit. My incline walk workout, I usually post it on my Instagram. So I do an incline of 15, a speed of 4.5 miles per hour, and usually I do 35 minutes of walking, and then there's an added 5 minutes of cool down, so a total of 40 minutes. But it's just depending on however I feel. It's usually 30 to 40 minutes. But I would not advise going straight into the walk like that. When I first started incline walking, I was doing the treadmill workout that was on TikTok, the 12-3-30, 12 incline speed 30 minutes. And because I was doing that for so long, I was able to build up my speed, my incline, my time, which is why I can do what I do now. But start off slow or else you're not going to enjoy it. As for the Stairmaster, I like to do 15 minutes of like level 6 to 10. I fluctuate it while I'm on the machine. But again, when I was starting Stairmaster, I was usually doing level 5, level 6 only. And I've been able to build it up as I've been working out more. Throughout those days, I did a lot of low weight, high reps, and body weight workouts. I would have arm days, chest days, leg days, etc, etc, etc. And every single day I would also hit abs. That's just the general idea. I will share my workout split down below. However, if I wasn't feeling the workouts, if I was just tired that day, I wouldn't force myself to do it. I would just do my treadmill workout and go home. For me, walking, just doing cardio was enough to like sustain my exercise for the day. Don't force yourself if you're not feeling it. If we're being real about the gym and weight loss, like you don't need to go to the gym. You just need to walk. Literally walking a little bit every day will help you. You do not need a gym membership if you don't want one. I live in a place that's not very walkable, so I get my steps in at the gym. All in all, the gym factor was like the simplest part out of this whole thing. Moving on to the food, I also post a lot that I realized that cultural food doesn't mean it's healthy. And coming from a Pakistani background, our food is very oily, very greasy, carb heavy, and I feel like in our cultures it's just very common to stuff your face until you're on the brink of sleeping, which is why we all nap after eating. It took me a very long time to realize that that is not normal. You're not supposed to be eating until you fall asleep or until you can't walk. So, one way I healed my relationship with food is listening to my body when it's telling me it's full. Before, like, I had no limit on what I was eating because I felt like I had to finish all the food on my plate, and that's why I ended up eating so much more and always feeling gross after eating. I realized that you do not have to finish a whole big plate of food if your body is saying you are full. Again, that is a mentality that stems from our culture. It's very hard to break, but once you do, it's very rewarding. I also made my cultural food a lot healthier by portioning out like the unhealthy stuff, because you can't really get rid of all of it. Like, instead of eating a bunch of rice, I would substitute salad, or I would like try to drain as much oil out of like keema if I could. Simple things like that make a really big difference. And you're still eating your cultural food, but in a healthier way. And I was in a caloric deficit, but I wasn't starving myself, which is what I think a lot of people have misconstrued caloric deficit as. I was essentially just eating more fruits. And because fruits are less calories, they make you full, that's how I ended up staying in a caloric deficit. I was still eating a lot. Another important thing, I did not fully cut out my sweets. Obviously, you have to eat it in moderation in order to see weight loss. Like, if my body was craving a sweet, I would eat a sweet. If I wanted a brownie, I would have like maybe like half of like a normal piece, right? Just to like satisfy that craving. I'm glad we can clear that up because I've been wanting to talk about it for a hot minute. That's like the gist of how I lost weight, but you guys had a lot of questions that you wanted me to answer, so I will be doing that right now. Question number 1. How many calories did you aim to consume on a cut? So I generally ate around like 1,600 calories. I checked like a bunch of calculators and stuff, like that was good for me on a cut. Question number 2. Would you say you feel happier since your weight loss? Is it worth it? I feel happier that I'm a lot more fit. Obviously, I look more fit. When you get more fit, you lose weight. So yes, I am happier, but I'm happier because I look stronger, I'm not as weak as I was before, and I just like the way I look in my clothes now. Like, I'm happy about myself. Question number 3. What is the best time to work out, morning or evening? I really like to go at like 7 in the morning, 7:30. I think that is like prime time to work out. It helps energize you for the day. Okay, another question that I got a lot was if I ever had an eating disorder. I have not. Clearing that up now. So I ended up having to re-record the next day because my dad was being a bit loud on the phone. Anyways, another comment that I get a lot on my videos is how do I get motivated to go almost every day? So I tell myself that it's okay to like even go for 30 minutes because honestly going and moving your body is better than doing nothing at all. And also time is going to pass by anyways, and time is precious. Time is money. If you're not using that time wisely, like you're going to be so frustrated when you realize like you wasted it doing nothing. And I like to spend my time doing things that actually better me. Working out is obviously something that will only better you if you're doing it in a healthy way. So even if I'm feeling like unmotivated or I'm on my period and I really don't want to go, I like to go to the gym just to go on the treadmill. People were asking me the difference in my weight. So I started off at 133 to 135. My weight was always fluctuating at those numbers. Now I fluctuate between 120 to 123. But either way, I didn't start off bad. I just had a lot of toning up that I needed to do. Alright, another very common question is how to kind of eat healthy when you are in a foreign household. For me, I kind of just had to be like, stop it. Every time my mom would put something unhealthy on my plate, I would just be like, no, like I can't have it, I don't want it. And I had to really emphasize the fact like, that I was just full, like I cannot finish the entire plate of food. And of course, like they make comments, they're like, you're so skinny, you don't eat anything. You just have to like have thick skin and you'll be fine. Aside from the weight loss this summer, were you slim your whole life? They always had like a pretty like kind of smallish figure, but not toned. And I played sports like on and off and worked out on and off. So like there are points in my life where I was like really toned, and then other points like the quarantine part where I wasn't so toned. Throughout high school I was just always working out. So that obviously plays a part into it. But I will say my genetics do not have anything to play with this because being skinny does not run in our family. Me and my brother both have had to work out to like look the way we are. If we aren't working out consistently and not being healthy and mindful about what we're eating, all of that will go to waste really quickly because we gain fat very, very quickly in my family, on both sides of my family. I don't want to hear anything about it's just genetics, I am the last person you say that to because it's not just genetics for me. A lot of other questions were really similar to the ones that I just answered. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I am really glad that I got to make this video and really explain my weight loss process. I am much healthier, I am more fit, and I'm really happy with myself, and I hope this inspires you to also go on a fitness journey, a healthy one, and also become healthy and happier about yourself. Here is to all of us getting healthier and becoming more confident. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with another video soon. Bye!